What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a look at Crocodile and Doflamingo. Going to be doing a little bit of a showcase here against 3 different arenas, and of course we're just going to discuss my thoughts and opinions on using this character thus far. Now, of course, I am recording this the day before the Kizuna Clash, and I'm sure that when I use them in the Kizuna Clash, I'll get a little bit more of a differing opinion, maybe a bit more positive, maybe a bit more negative, but overall, I wanted to take this time to kind of discuss this unit in the brief time that I have been able to use them. So let's just jump right into it, right? So the captain ability of this unit, obviously you've got the dual units. You got one side of Crocodile, who is a quick driven cerebral, and then you have Doflamingo, who is dex driven cerebral. They basically have the same captain of giving minus cooldown at the start of the quest. They give an attack boost 5x to driven and cerebral. They also make dex and quick slots beneficial, and then they drastically reduce the amount of strength and psi slots that appear on your team. So that's kind of interesting. It just generates you a higher chance of landing on dex, quick, and int slots, which is kind of like what you want with this character in the way that they're built. It also says that if you tap on this character when you have a dex or an int slot on Doflamingo's case, or a quick or an int slot with Crocodile's case while they're the captain, then you actually inflict a 10% resistance down to the enemy, and that's really cool. So if you're abusing the cerebral and driven classes, you can get a lot out of that. And then, of course, in their dual captain ability, they get much stronger as they become a 5.75 times captain. And we've seen this common trend moving forward with 5.75 with the anniversary legends. So it's inevitable that 6 times multiplier captains are going to be arriving relatively soon on One Piece Treasure Cruise. But then, of course, in their dual captain, they actually apply minus 20% driven and cerebral resistance, which makes a pretty big difference. So it's a lot of damage output that you're getting here. Of course, it is a dual unit, so you don't get access to super type or super class, which hurts the character overall in terms of damage, but you do get access to this resistance down if you attack with this character. So it does kind of offset it a little bit, especially if you have a character that shares both classes of driven and cerebral, because the 20% resistance down is for both separate classes and they get multiplied together. So a 20% resistance for driven, a 20% resistance for cerebral, multiplying that together, it's a 1.44 times bonus. So it's actually pretty strong. You get a lot out of it for doing it. So you do get a lot of damage there, and I think that this could potentially see some play in the future, but overall, getting access to super types and super classes are still very powerful, as they are essentially just free bonus specials that you can get access to. So while the captain ability is actually kind of okay, in my opinion, I don't think they're really meant or built to be used as a captain, and that's further solidified with their special, as their special gives a 2.75 times attack boost to driven and cerebral for 1 turn, which is perfectly acceptable, and then they combine to the dual unit only for 1 turn. So this is, again, like the reason why I just don't think they're really built to be used as a captain, because you only get that bonus effect for 1 turn, and then you have to wait to use their special again to actually get the benefits of that dual captain. So, obviously, they're basically built to be used as crewmates, which is not a bad thing. It's totally not a bad thing. I don't even like using dual units as a captain in the first place. So when you have a look at the rest of their special though, they have a very unique mechanic where it says that it allows you to select up to 4 different buffs on your crew and further boost them. And this is very interesting, and it does further go into the details in terms of what boosts you can apply. So if you select an attack boost, an orb boost, a color affinity, a conditional boost, or a chain lock, then you get a 0.25 increase to those multipliers. So hypothetically, you could use the special of Croc and Dofi to apply a 2.75 times attack boost, and then you could also use their special to further amplify the attack boost to become a 3x multiplier, which is pretty strong overall. Furthermore, if you target to boost a chain boost, you get a 0.2 increase. If you do a chain multiplicative buff, you add 0.2 to that. If you target a base attack boost, you get 400 base attack boost added. So there's a bunch of different buffs that you could potentially upgrade, and they all get a very minor increase to the multipliers. But there is a drawback to this. For every buff that you select to get actually buffed, you actually get 25% of your max HP minused away from your crew. Now, people automatically ask, is this actually a way that you can actually kill yourself in the middle of a quest? And no, that is not true. I believe you can always select at least one, so long as you have at least 25% HP, but you can't really kill yourself with this special. But it does mean that at max capacity, you can select up to 4 multipliers and buff them. So that is fascinating, but it does mean you need to have some type of a way to maintain HP when you use this character special, and that is going to be important. But I think that this is also kind of odd at the same time, because this character is coming out during this time period now where Rush Sugo specials are likely going to be coming around the corner, like more and more of these characters. I mean, you look at the release of Final Tap, and then you look at the release of Super Tandem. When these mechanics first released, obviously they like to sprinkle them a little bit, but then it was basically every month. We were receiving Super Tandems or Final Tap characters essentially every month. So the fact that Rush Sugo special is a mechanic that is new and a lot of people want to abuse, but that mechanic in and of itself has an HP reducing effect, doesn't really synergize with this at all. So I think that people are going to have to try and find ways to build around it. Either this character is not going to see any play at all, or whether you're using this special and then you have a healing special, then you can activate a Rush Sugo special. Of course, we're discussing this now, but there is only one Sugo Rush character in the game as of the making of this video, which is the Anniversary Sanji. So look, I'm just looking at this character further on down the line, and look, this is a unique mechanic that only this character has to buff all of these different effects on your crew at the cost of HP, and you never know, there could be other characters that come out further on down the line with this ability that might work a little bit more productively, that work in line with Rush Sugo special. So again, we're going to have to wait and see how things progress. And now, of course, you cannot discuss a dual unit without talking about their switch effects. So the first switch effect of Doflamingo and Crocodile have the effect of changing their own slot into matching. It does not go through block orbs though, unfortunately. It then provides a 5% heal to the crew, and will go ahead and reduce 1 turn of bind and 1 turn of special bind, and make int slots beneficial to the crew for 1 turn. So that's cool, because as a captain, you know, if you do use them as a captain, you get the accessibility of making those slots beneficial, of int slots beneficial, whilst also reducing the capacity of landing on strength and size slots. But then their crewmate ability already makes dex and crick slots beneficial to driven and cerebral, so then you have their switch effect to also make int slots beneficial to the crew, so you're naturally making 3 of the 7 natural slots beneficial for you, which is pretty strong. But then it's a really nice effect to remove bind and special bind by 1 turn. It's a very useful mechanic, and this character will likely see a lot of play, mainly just due to the fact that they can remove bind and special bind with that switch effect. Furthermore, to get access to their super switch, you only have to switch 4 times, which I love to see, and this one is slightly different as it changes the entire crew's slots into int, heals 10% HP this time, and then removes 3 turns of bind and 3 turns of special bind, as well as making those int slots beneficial for 1 turn. So essentially you get a full board of slots, a 10% heal, and removing 3 turns of bind and special bind. It's a pretty good effect if you ask me. And remember, as a captain, if you do opt to use them that way, when you tap on them with an int slot or a quick or a dex slot, then that's when you start applying those resistance down effects. So their super switch essentially sets them up to do everything that they need to do, which is great, alongside just providing great utility for the crew, and you know, a little bit of healing is never a bad thing either. So overall, some very, very interesting mechanics built in with this unit. Another interesting note is that they do have the potential ability of reducing their cooldown by 5 turns at the start of the quest, so you can kind of inject them into teams where they're not even going to be receiving full boosts, like in Kizuna, where this character might not even receive cooldown, and you could probably still find ways to use them. So I think that that's a really nice, neat thing that a lot of people will overlook with this unit, and I think that this character does have potential to be a mainstay in teams moving forward. But we'll have to wait and see what kind of characters come out, because at this current point in time, there's not a lot of tandem characters that synergize with Dofi or Crocodile, which could really hold them back. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Dofi and Croc down below in the comment section. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
たまらねえ。何やろう。邪魔すんじゃねえよ。逃がさん。消えろ。されたらここまで変わり果てる。